Oh God, Dr. Bob.
All right, here we go. Oh, what happened to Bob's screen?
Bob's a little skinny right now.
That's super high def, but you can only see a slice.
Anyway, welcome to Gomo Podcast presenting the Challenge Cup today. I'm joined today by He's Just a Boy.
Thank you.
We are presenting the second game between DoctorBobtastic and Wessidevandal. Oh good, we got Dr. Bob back to normal. Thank you. I was very scared for him for a moment.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to say Wessidevandal's name. I'm probably going to refer to you as Wes.
Yeah, it threw me off for quite a while too. I was trying to read it as something completely else, but I think we just settle for Wes and we should be good.
Wes and Bob.
Yes,
both members of the group A, B, and capitals. It looks like they both started off with the same route, going on the north side of Kakariko Village, checking out Lumberjack and the Haunted Woods.
Yeah, pretty early in the check, dropped in kind of like very quickly. Don't know if either of them took a peek at Link's house or Uncle, but very nice early. So
yeah, I don't know if they checked Link's house.
I'm sure we'll eventually find out.
Yeah, for sure. It's not something that you would leave for very long anyways, but they got bombs and they have a sword, so they're both probably feeling pretty good going into Kakariko.
Yeah, definitely should be feeling a little bit better than most of the seeds that I've been seeing lately, where just the seeds like, what? You don't need a sword for, like, first hour of the game. Why would you want that?
Yeah. I had a sword at race game in my last one, and I decided that I didn't need to go there. And yeah, that hurt, not having a weapon for way too long.
So well, hopefully we find some interesting goodies here in Kakariko for these runners.
More bombs. Some much needed money. They almost have enough for checking the bottle vendor. And an ice rod.
We'll find out if we need that soon enough. But hey, kind of nicer to have that early and out of the way.
In some ways, but when you get ice rod early, Turtle Rock is going to be a...
Oh, for sure. And it's one of those, do you really need to go there? Probably not. Game's just messing with you. Just threw the ice rod there just because, so... But we're not going to make you paranoid the entire time.
Arrows. A nice pack of arrows.
So far, as much as we can tell, we've not had a map check from either player.
Nope. Well, they have 10 bombs now. That's pretty convenient. You don't have to worry about buying bombs. They got enough money. And the hammer. Ooh. Now there's a great weapon to get.
Yeah, very nice early high damage weapon. Certainly make riding a little bit easier going through like Hyrule Castle if you decide to dip in there.
Yep. And the Moon Pro. So we just need the Power Glove for Dark World access.
Come on, Gloves and Tavern for the quickest Thieves Town jump ever.
Yeah. Would you go directly back up to the portal?
Personally, I would. Heck.
Yeah, I would.
Jump right in, get all those Village of Outcast checks out of the way. Front four of Thieves Town. That's super appealing. Even if you don't finish Thieves Town, just go there, get those checks done, and then heck, dip South Shore.
Yep. I totally agree. But that's not happening, so let's see what's in the library.
Yeah, we can dream on. It'll probably be myths on Pyramid, and Aga 1 will be required. Who knows? All sorts of the evil things that can happen in any of these given seeds.
Both runners are going in the house.
Both blind, huh?
Yeah, they want something to be here. I guess if both runners go, it's never a loss to do it first.
It usually comes down to personal preference, right?
Yeah. Wes leaves it and Bob picks it up.
I mean, don't blame him. It's one of those things that's like my personal opinion is if it's a full heart, yeah, go ahead pick it up. If it's a heart piece, it can sit.
Well, both runners did leave Link's house.
There's our map
And,
check.
Yeah, that was.
Was that all Light World pendants? I think that was all Light World pendants. Because Harrow was definitely, I think, a red pendant. I didn't quite catch Desert.
Yeah. So whatever Desert is. So it's vanilla pendants, basically.
Oh wow.
Oh, Tower Hero 5-6 crystal?
Maybe we'll get another map check from Bob here in just a second.
That was a quick map check. So Bob decides to go to the castle, and Wes is going to the South Shore.
Kind of like both these plays, I'm a little bit more in favor of going to the castle first. Just get it out of the way. It's basically like a crystalless, pendantless dungeon, right? But you know,
there's
let's go to West there for the gloves. Got that 6-minute 40-second Dark World access.
That's crazy. Wow. There's a lot of options. It's kind of sometimes like it's nerve-wracking. Like if they found like Titan's Mitts or Hookshot right now, you just have the whole map open to you, and it's like, where do I go?
Yeah, it's like a paralyzing, like good and bad thing. It's what. There's so many choices. Which one is the right one? And is my opponent doing the exact same thing? And what have they chosen? And did they choose the right one? Of course, they chose the right one. They're my opponent.
So,
and boots in the Hyrule Castle. It looks like
both paying off each route. It'll be nice. Bob will have the boots for running through all this. Every time you get them early, they make up time. Because everything your opponent's doing, you get to do it faster.
Just ever so slightly faster, and once Bob gets into the South Shore checks, it'll allow him to do a bit more of an easy water walk and soaring water walk if he so chooses.
Yep, yeah. Not sure why that setup works, but it works, and it's super easy to do.
It's one of the things with the game. The game is just made of spaghetti code.
Yep. I understand a good majority of it, but sometimes I'm like, I have no idea why that's working. Like, I just dash along an edge, and I can somehow just jump down on water, and it works. Okay.
It's magic, you know.
Ooh, Bob's going for a death warp. He wants to check the back.
Definitely don't blame him, or at very least to check the Dark Cross. Just make sure that that's out of the way for when he does find the glove, he can just quickly drop down from the Sanctuary side.
Yeah. He's probably hoping for a small key. If he gets an item, I'm sure he'll be okay. At least he knows he's not leaving his glove in the back of the escape. Because that is an awful place to check when you're just looking for a glove. Because you just want to just drop down the back instead.
I think coming in the front like this to do Dark Cross is probably one of my least favorites, just because I have it. It's one of my least memorized Dark Rooms.
Yeah,
it feels weird going through it.
The rooms up to it aren't so bad, but the actual Dark Cross room can be annoying sometimes. Trying to find that chest. But if you have the Fire Rod, it's free. So, and he just gets the blue mail. That's still a nice find.
Very nice find, effectively doubling your health. So, heck, yeah. I would take it.
Especially with low hearts right now. It's a good call. And Wes has taken his Dark World access. You can't blame him for that.
Absolutely not. Let's see where he's going to. Looks like he's going to jump into Village of Outcasts, possibly run right towards Thieves Town and go say hi to our buddy Blind. Okay, so it was a red pennant on Pod now, with a red crystal on Ice Pal, so it was a red crystal on Hera. I was in fact mistaken.
Yep. But that means that ice rod will get used eventually this seed.
Indeed, it also means that we may never find a bow and arrow.
Ooh, that could be mean.
I mean, Pennant Pod, Pennant Eastern, and Fast Ganon, as I believe this match is, so bow could just not be required at all.
And I don't think either of these runners are going to be attempting to mimic clip. Maybe they might be, but that's a pretty tricky move. So, but that's so late in the game. We're 11 minutes in. Let's give these guys a bow and arrow. I don't want to put them through that.
Oh no, because remember, like I said, it's I believe it's Fast Ganon, so won't even have to do GT.
You're right. They don't even need a bow.
Check pointing out, yes, both bows could potentially even be in GT, and that would be. Oh, hey, never mind. There's a
bow. And that early Agina check is paying off a little bit. I mean, it's just pendants, but it's also a great weapon too.
Yeah, and hey, you never know. Could be one of those. Well, you gotta do Pennant Eastern for your Fire Rod, and King of Samaria's on King Helmasaur. Who knows? All sorts of evil things could be happening in this seed, and we don't even know it yet.
And we're getting so much divergence right now.
Yeah, there's just a ton of stuff going on. We got Thieves Town happening. Bob's got his Master Sword now.
That's quite the bunny sprite. I'm not even sure what Wes's sprite is.
I was gonna say, I don't recognize that character, unfortunately. Bob taking the quick trip into finishing off his, and there's a third sword, so we know where 3 swords are already.
Well, that'll be nice. Early tempered. The seed's been pretty good so far.
Strangely good. I'm wondering when it's going to backstab betray us.
There's going to be something hiding somewhere. The flute seems to be an annoying one recently. Just blocking off that Mire access. Maybe or Canis Tamaria would be interesting.
Chep pointing out that Wes's sprite is believed to be from Stardew Valley. I should confirm that real quick. Hang on. Yes, my roommate who was actually playing Stardew Valley right next to me confirms. Yes, that is a character from Stardew Valley named Abigail.
Alright, confirmed.
Sorry, just had to get that out of my system because I was like, wait a minute, I can answer that question right now.
That's some pretty convenient chance of that happening, but I'll take it.
Hey, well, why not? Wes making their way to the upstairs of Thieves Town.
And Bob's at his house. Where's he going? He's going to the south side for Dark World access.
We're gonna hop into Hype Caves, opting to skip out on Ice Rod Cave and doing some fake flipper checks, but certainly don't blame him for the density. You have your Dark World access, go for the most dense areas.
It is nice, and if you get Titansmiths or Mir, it kind of pays itself off.
Yeah, just run yourself backwards towards Thieves Town, or maybe you find Fire Rod along the way. This could be the nicest seed we've seen all tournament.
Thieves Town hasn't really given us anything though, just a bug net.
And just a lot of red inside a hype cave.
Oh, we still got one more check. Getting that small key. Ooh, Bob is going up to the pyramid or pod? He's going to the pyramid.
At least the pyramid, possibly catfish or pod. We'll see where he ends up going.
Yeah.
Alright, Wes on 4 hearts and green mail will be going off to go deliver blind into the back of his house.
This is a little nerve-wracking of a fight with 4 hearts. It's not too difficult to get him to the 3rd phase, but sometimes that 3rd phase with 2 heads flying around, you can get caught in a bad area. Only green mail, so take 2 hearts of damage if one of them bumps into you.
Yep, and 1 heart for a fireball to the face. So a little bit nerve-wracking. Let's see how Wes manages.
It's nice having sword beams early. You can sit at the bottom of the room like this and shoot them if you want. But it's starting to get a little dicey. He can't get hit.
Ooh. One thing you always got to remember, especially on low health, is never take too much for granted about doing pause buffers to dodge those heads and fireballs.
Yeah, I don't blame him for leaving right now. He can run back and check that later. You don't want to risk dying again.
And just building up your tilt. And there's the fire rod for Bob up on the catfish. What is this seed?
That could be a tough one. That could be a tough one for Wes. Sometimes you just, like, if this seed's opening up like it is, you might not check catfish. But that's huge. So Bob can, when he goes over to Village of Outcasts, he's just going to clear the whole thing. Except for the Titans, it's locked.
But I'm sure we'll find those somewhere along the way that this
Right,
seed's been going.
It'll probably be in Skullwoods.
I mean, the last, 5 games, Gloves have been in Skullwood, so yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Swash for Bob is getting a little bit sloppy with his placements, but...
So Bob is making a pod dip, knowing it's a pendant. He wants more payment on this route.
I certainly don't blame him. Pod just has that knack for just having something in it all the time, whether it's lamp or your flippers or your cane, there always tends to be something there, unless there's nothing there, and then it's just a waste.
5 checks, and it's a little bit long of a dungeon though. That's the unfortunate part. It could be a little bit faster. I feel like you waste so much time at this beginning part just getting keys. Just play the dungeon.
True, but having the bow to not have to worry about, having the potion glitch, having boots to navigate through the dungeon quickly. The only thing you're really missing to go fast is the mirror, but...
Yeah. And the game logically could want you to go here. It's giving you everything you need, even to put something not in the dark maze room, but into the money room. There could be logically something behind there.
To answer the question, chat Siberian, did Bob check the light world? We do not know. He may have checked it in the first 30 seconds to a minute before we actually got the stream onto the runners, and when Bob was still running in skinny mode. But I would imagine that by now he's probably checked it.
I don't think Bob actually did a light world map check. But he did a good dark world one, and he knows that there's going to be 2 pendants and a red crystal, so... Bob's opting to open up the fairy room, and just a piece of heart on the pyramid. Wes decides to pick it up.
I mean, hey, if it's gonna finish a heart on you, why not, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, taking a death to blind will make you pick up those life-saving options. Well, looks like that ice rod, or I mean, that fire rod isn't leaving, or Wes isn't leaving it behind. He's going to pick it up right now.
I think Wes has been burned many times on the past on catfish, so wanna go definitely check that out. Tends to be one of those things for a runner sometimes where it's just like, this has burned me one too many times. I'm gonna make this part of my normal route and make sure that I do this every time.
It's one of those checks. It takes like 2 minutes, but if you don't check it, it's like you could lose 30 minutes by not wasting those too early. And if you do find something, I mean, like Wes is probably feeling really good about that too, just like Bob. So, yeah, it'll put him in a good state at least. I'm curious to see where Wes goes from here. It looks like he's walking back to go to pod as well. Wes needs to find a way to get himself into the Hyrule Castle and get himself those boots, because he needs to go fast.
Doesn't everybody need to go fast?
And the mirror, sitting there in pod, of course.
Speaking of which,
I'm surprised Bob didn't like the torch in this room. It's not that hard to run through dark either, I guess, but...
Wes checking out at least the back of Escape. We'll see if he opts in to go for the front afterwards.
So logically, there is an item behind that door. Having 3 keys in that situation.
And it is our big key today.
Oh, Bob is doing the bomb jump. He's almost got that spot lined up for his first bomb.
And while Bob is doing that, Wes making the dip into the Hyrule Castle, gonna get his boots, gonna start moving fast. Gonna be pretty happy about seeing that.
Well done.
So just a couple more checks left here in pod before the only thing left is Helmasaur, and that is some sort of yellow item. I think it was that potion there that he got. Yeah, the green potion.
Maybe, yeah. That must be it. Because he didn't have a bottle before.
Yeah, certain pallets of items just do not show up in dark rooms, and did not know green potion was one of those. I knew it was yellow items for sure, and there's Bob's actual Light World check.
Yeah, now he knows.
That was the fastest map check I've ever seen.
Well, Eastern Palace will have 3 items plus the green pendant, which is turning in right next door, so kind of hard to resist doing this when you just picked up the mirror.
Absolutely, and after just pretty much clearing out pod of everything that had worth. So we're still technically looking for our logical access to Death Mountain. There's a lot of other areas. item number 2 here out of Eastern for Bob.
I don't think, did Wes check the back of Escape? He must have.
Yeah, he jumped in before doing front of Escape. I don't know if he's done the cross yet.
I don't think he has, because he has that small key.
Yes,
which
the
means
small
he would
key
have
was
picked
in the
up-
back.
Yeah, he picked up the small key in the back, and he would have had to use it to check Dark Cross.
Okay, so still no mail upgrade yet for Wes, but
And he's leaving it. Not the worst thing to leave behind, but
he may end up walking back, because from what I understand, it is actually quicker to walk back from Link's house to go to Dark Cross from there than to walk all the way up the cell from there.
I never thought about that. That might be. I might have to time that and see if it's true.
I recall someone telling me that once, so I certainly wouldn't doubt it. And Wes gonna be first one to Tempered. Making Skull Woods look really appealing right about now, so probably dip back down in there, finish off Thieves Town, and do off
No.
Skull Woods. Maybe.
Nope. Skull
We're
Woods
running-
going the other way. He might be checking Zora? Or
Heading to Eastern, it looks like.
yeah.
Well, Bob is going to go clear out Armos, pick up a little bit of money here for his Zoro check eventually. But definitely looking at getting that green pendant, because we already have all 3 items here out of Eastern, and none of them were really particularly of note.
Nope.
Oh, we're checking Sahasra's closet.
That bunk not wanting to work for him.
Sometimes you just can't run into a wall correctly.
It's the partially broken wall. It's, you gotta hit it a little bit harder. Or a gag.
And Wes looking like he's going to make the play to Eastern as well. See if he ends up dipping pot afterwards, or what he ends up doing. We'll see from Bob here in a moment.
Getting nothing from Eastern so far. It might push him to go to pod, but we'll see. We still have. I think we still have an item left. I'm not sure if it's a.
No, all 3 were collected. The 3rd item was in the big chest.
Yes.
So Bob is just doing this for the green pendant of what is eventually on the green pendant. And blinking, you'll miss it. It is Armos Knights.
Yeah. Oh, it was very, very clean, but one got away from him, man. That hurts.
It's because I jinxed it.
Yeah.
Commentator's curse.
Started off very clean. Obviously practices it.
Alright, so let's go find out Wahasha. And that's one of the fun little things about the mirror portal there that not necessarily everyone knows. If you are holding something over your head, you cannot be pushed into that portal. So if you're coming out of Eastern like that and you need to go talk to Sahasra, just hold the bomb over your head.
Sriracha was like, here, I have some bombs to open up and get these items out of the back.
You need money and health, don't go alone.
Not the payment Bob was looking for, but it's gonna have to do. I suspect he's going to head his way over to Thieves Town now.
Very likely. Fire rod in hand. Probably also hit up Skull soon enough as well.
And there, using the mirror in the sanctuary will transport you to the entrance of the dungeon that you're in, or at least the one that you came from. But in the sanctuary, it gives you that entrance and saves a nice little bit of time. When you have boots, though, it's not as much, but
Hey, every little bit counts, right?
yeah. Just showing off his knowledge of what you. One of my favorite parts of randomizer is having so many different sets of weapons and loadouts for all sorts of different scenarios. You just kind of have to figure out what's the best one to use on the fly.
Which way do I need to break the game today?
Yeah. And Bob is going right up into Skull Woods. I don't blame him. Run out to the back, kill the boss, and finish checking the chests on the way back.
And loop down either into some sort of smith chain or go up and do Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb.
And getting a small key early is nice. That means he can just check all of this, except for the big chest.
Wes opting not to go finish off fighting Armmost Knight and finish off the green pendant. I have other things to do, he says.
The great part about getting a small key early in Skull Woods like that is Bob's, after he picks up this chest, is going to switch to his mirror, and it'll pull him right back to the entrance. It doesn't have to do any running around. And he gets the big key, so he's just going to clear out this whole front part. But hasn't found one of the 2 items yet.
Yeah, and hopefully we get something interesting in here. Hey, baby's first shield.
I personally like to let the little, I'm not sure what the thing is called, but it steals your shield just south of here, and I let it take my small shield from me all the time. And then when you get your second shield, it just gives you the upgrade.
Certainly don't contest that. It does save you a little bit of lag frames here and there just because the shields do lag you very slightly. But I am very preferable to keeping my fire shield just because I like the sort of versatility it gives you when running in some dungeons.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the fire shield. It's just the first shield, the level 1 shield is I'd rather just get rid of it.
Pretty nothing.
Yeah. All it's doing, ooh, that's not good. Getting wall mastered.
Bullied
Right.
by the hand.
Yeah. Take 2.
Stop no longer messing around, make quick work of those Gibdos with that fire rod. Alrighty, so it looks like our items are in the back. Or rather, our remaining item is in the back, either on the moth or underneath the bridge. I don't think of that shield so much as an item, so I forgot about it already.
Exactly. And Wes is going to be picking up his shield right away.
Bob opting for under the bridge first, maybe planning to do kind of a death warp here or something first, just to come back in a little bit higher health maybe, not sure. He gets the lamp.
That's nice.
Convenient even.
Yep. The lamp was fire locked. So you needed to go to Catfish before you were ever going to get a lamp in this game.
Seed, this is the one mean thing you've done all run. Let it be the last.
Yeah, Bob is getting ready to go into his moth fight. He only has Master Sword, so going to be a little bit trickier for him, but pretty sure it's just 8 Master Sword slashes.
Or 4 spins.
Or 4 spins, or 8 Fire Rod shots. And he's getting those hits to connect. Those are all really good hits.
Making good use of the green potion that he got earlier. Bully that moth some more.
I think Moth, yeah, that's what I think he's 1 shot away. And Bob getting his first crystal, and the first crystal of the match.
Alright, let's hope we start seeing some bosses get knocked down by like dominoes here soon.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to take too long to get our second crystal, because Bob will be going straight down to Thieves Town. He might take a venture off and check Bumper Ledge and maybe Graveyard Ledge, but that's...
You can also pick up King's Tomb too.
Oh, and King's Tomb, so it is... I guess it does look a little more appealing.
I kind of like it because if you do find myths along that route, that allows you to go into doing Blacksmith if you'd like to, or just finish off Thieves Town and then go up the mountain.
And Wes is heading into his moth fights. That Tempered Sword's gonna come really nice. Only 4 shots with the Tempered Sword, so. And Bob did check the ledge, but I did not see it.
It looked like just an arrow pack, so nothing really of note.
Alright, and Wes gets his first crystal too.
And will likely be running just a moment to get his lamp.
Yes, for sure. Unfortunately, he does not have that mirror though, so won't have that quick access back out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when Wes decides to make the pod play and get his mirror. Let's see what the king left for us to seed. Just some bombs. King said screw the kingdom. Burn it down.
Yeah, and Bob will be making his way back to Thieves Town now, in the village of outcasts.
Yeah, so far still quite a few things that need to be showing up. We need to be getting flippers and hook shot.
Yeah, we need to see.
We can at least. I was gonna say we can at least get up Light Death Mountain now. Logically, anyway.
Yes, logically it is in play, and Bob can go all the way to East Death Mountain as well.
The mirror in pod was, I believe, in the I think it's the compass room. It was the one with the 4 turtles that have the one chest before the dark basement.
Yeah, I believe that's the compass.
I can never remember what the vanilla rooms are called. always have to end up going with like here's a 7-sentence descriptor of where the room is. Start feeling like you're giving directions in a southern town. And if you see the dark maze, you've gone too far.
Alright, West is coming back for round 2 with a vengeance.
Revenge of Blind.
Ooh, Blind got a couple good hits on him though. That one laser eye shot.
Yes, and even though he has tempered, it's still the same amount of damage.
The one interesting fact about Blind is no matter how hard you hit him, it only counts for 1 point of damage.
Blind don't care how hard he hurt.
And Bob went into Blind's room early? That confused me there for a second.
Maybe a bit of an accident, or...
Maybe he had, I wasn't watching, but maybe he was just dashing straight up and just went straight up into the door and through.
Didn't cancel it soon enough, or who knows, maybe he's done too much boss shuffle lately and been like, oh yeah, let's see if like Land Mullis is here or something. Oh right, normal.
And Wes is deciding to at least go up the mountain and see what the old man has.
Probably at least go all the way through to Terra Hera and probably into East Death Mountain.
Oh,
Probably try to find a little bit more health, more safeties, more fun stuff.
Wes can't actually go to Hera because he does not have the mirror.
Oh right. He might be banking that the mirror of the hookshot is up here.
Well,
Hey, good kid,
check.
$20 for your trouble.
Yeah, he will go check Spectacle Rock. And the cabbages were being fairly nice to him, so...
For once.
Yeah, they usually seem to bounce in all the wrong spots. Ooh, there is our hook shot.
Hookshot is mirror locked in pod. Oh, Seed, you are cruel.
There we go. It's starting to show us true colors.
To answer chat, did West go to pod at all? He has not. He dipped Eastern for all 3 items, skipping the pendant, however.
And he did walk past pod to go check the catfish and the pyramid, so...
Which, at least for him, did contain the fire rod, so it was very worthwhile.
Yes, he got paid off in some sense, but...
I'm gonna go finish off Dark Cross here in the castle real quick and get reward with his mail upgrade.
He knows there's something here. I guess he's running out of checks. He doesn't have a whole lot left that he can do. So
True,
he might
because
be
we are
going
like
odd.
we are mitts locked. He doesn't have the mirror. We have no flippers to get into like Swamp Palace or Ice Palace.
We know he has no chance of getting anything up on Death Mountain. Because the hookshot is mirror locked, so... And he's done a good chunk of... I think he'll be going to pod next. He's got to. That makes the most sense. There's the most chests available.
Yeah, I can't think of many other places he has left to look, so probably that or another stab back at Blind. Making quick work of Blind, though. I'm going to finish off Village of Outcasts and probably continue on. Did Bob do Dig Game and all the rest of the South Death Dark World checks?
No, he went straight up to pod. Or the catfish.
Oh, right, he did high paved catfish instead of going west.
Wes is going to give us some fake flippers.
Very possibly.
I like the bomb strats personally. even nicer if you can time one when you're running over there, but the bomb hits you right to the last pixel on the frame that you can be on, and it easily sets up the fake flippers.
It's very convenient. We'll get to check out the waterfall ferry here and the whole entirety of Zora's area. And to answer another question from chat, I believe the first room in Pod was a key, so he does not necessarily need the bow. But there is a green potion sitting in the dark basement or dark maze of Pod, so he'll at least be able to potion glitch while he's there.
And Wes is going to check out our Zora. $300 on the ledge. Zora is offering a little bit of a discount, but you have to go and pick it up.
$300, but you have to be able to swim. Meanwhile, Bob getting his red mail, becoming that coveted yellow ball and chain guard.
Yeah, it's good. I like the red mail on that sprite.
And there's our last sword. Zora, for once, not a scam, but gold sword. I could deal without it, maybe.
I'd still pay $500 for it, yep. Or rupees. And yeah, I think Wes is going to be making his trip into Pod. He's just going to take this south entrance.
Yeah, it certainly seemed like he had to think about it for just a second. Like, what am I doing? Where am I going? What even are all these checks? Oh, right, we gotta check Sick Kid here, being that we did get that bottle a while ago. Forgot to do that while we finished Blind off.
And just takes the Sick Kid's money.
Please, Mr. Mean Guard, this is all I got.
He's just collecting his taxes.
And no, they make them pay it that early.
Put it in the bottle, kid.
Bob looking like he's gonna make his way up this mountain now, gonna do the full Light World Death Mountain area.
Yeah, and
having his beer and getting his hook shot.
Yeah, he'll be really happy to see that hook shot up there.
Yes, because it'll let him know that, hey, that pod play really paid off.
And I almost guarantee we'll find Titan's mitts up here as well. Just because we're just starting to run out of checks. Either flippers, Titan's mitts, or...
I was going to say, either the mitts themselves or something that will lead to the mitts.
Yeah, if they want to do that, they can throw us the shovel or the mushroom, but there's got to be something up here. If we find Titan's mitts and red cane up here, we could very likely see a turtle rock dip right away.
I certainly wouldn't blame that, especially with the we'll say habit that Turtle Rock has of having, you know, like the flute or the flippers. Like it, you just know. It's one of those things. Alright, well, Wes works through Pod, making his way towards the back in his mirror. Dr. Bob is going to go work up the Moldorm Tower and say hi.
Well, it looks like Bob is going to be setting up the bomb jump. Or not bomb jump, but the clip. Oh, no. This is the right choice. If you do this, you don't leave the big key chest as a potential item. So it's the safe move. I definitely I agree with it totally.
Absolutely, just want to you kind of wish like maybe Bob isn't comfortable with the bomb jump or the Harapot clip yet. But you know you could always come back and get the key, go get the chest if you are missing the item.
He might do the Hera clip still. He might just mirror and then run up and do the Hera clip. That's a potential, but
I believe overall it does save time just going up the rooms.
there's a real nice setup for it with the because he has the boots as well. He can use the spin speed off the stairs and kind of wiggle yourself into the right spot and just diagonally move down into it, and it'll get you in there right away.
And it looks like that's what we may be seeing. Just gotta find the right pixel.
A little bit high. And Wes must have picked up his mirror. Yeah, he for sure did. So
Yeah, it was in that that arena room with the turtles. And I believe he gets the potion out of the dark maze here at the bottom.
and then he will most likely be also heading right up the mountain, knowing where that hookshot is.
Just the compass and big chest. Could have safely just gone up and Harapotted and been fine, but hey, you never know. You don't
Yep.
necessarily always want to chance it right.
It would have paid off in that scenario, but at the same time, that's a pretty tough risk to take in a 1v1 race.
Yeah, you have to feel pretty confident to just go ahead and skip it like that, or even to think, I'll come back to it later.
The only viable reason I could think for ever skipping it is being like, I know my opponent loves doing Hera clip. He's gonna do it too. We'll both be in the same scenario. Other than that, you gotta just check that check. Anything you leave behind can always be weighing down on your shoulders too much.
Yep. Moldorm being finished off rather quickly, only having $1 on him. Bob gonna make his way towards the East Death Mountain with Wes right in his tracks heading up the Hera Tower.
And finding Bombos in Tower of Hera. Just one more of those medallions that you know you might need.
It'll at least be convenient for when we do head to Ice Palace, break out a Cold Stare and still have some shots left on your Fire Rod to, you know, manage him if he gets away from you.
Yep.
But we'll be getting a look at our Spiral Cave here in just a second, and then closely followed by Paradox. And
So
we
cool.
have letters.
All right, Bob can read. That means
What?
he's most likely going to be, after checking Paradox Cave, going to be heading right back over to Tower of Hera and checking the Ether Tablet.
Yeah, wouldn't it be quite the kick in the teeth if Ether Tablet is where the myths are?
To have to turn around and run back the other direction.
Alright, Paradox, what you got for us today? Bunch of blue
Not a
stuff.
lot.
We have a fetch quest.
We've gotten 2 fetch quests basically off this so far. Which one of them is going to have our Titans points?
I don't know which one is worse to have the Titans myths. I think probably the mushroom, because you have to abandon the mushroom and give up doing fake powder on the bat, and then you have to walk all the way there and then reclimb the mountain again in order to do your Dark Death Mountain checks.
Grabbing that fairy. Nice little safety to keep.
Just to have around for later, in case you ever need it.
And Wes getting his bombos.
But I'm thinking about Spike Cave, but saying, yeah, I should probably check the Ether Tablet first, and then I'll do Spike Cave.
Good call.
That's why I grabbed the fairy.
Oh, that makes sense too. Definitely put Spike Cave in check.
And a bee for your trouble.
Bob does not want that bee.
Yeah, I don't blame him. We've already killed the moth. We don't need the bee anymore.
And Wes gets his second crystal. He will most likely be heading over to East Death Mountain as well and grabbing his mushroom. Because that's all there is.
And the book and spiral.
Oh, and the book, yeah, right.
And Spike Cave has a piece of heart.
So, will Bob go check Desert and the Bombos tablet first? Or will he take that little water portal and turn in that mushroom right away?
I would have gone for the mushroom first, just because you can run right up to the witch. If it's nothing, just save scum that mushroom for later.
Yeah, I don't mind that strategy. Using it right after save and quit, and you know that you can always keep it if you need it. It's been useful. I've had it at times where I've had nothing else, and I was in GT right at the end, and just ran out of magic from climbing up the tower. And I was like, right, I have that mushroom. I'll just fake powder those anti-fairies.
And just saves your behind.
Yeah, it helps you every now and then, so.
And Bombos Tablet has the silver arrows. Well, this will be an easy Ganon tonight.
That could very likely be Wes's first set, his first bow, and then he'll go and pick up the other one from the Akina's cave.
Wow, we have both bows really close together. Sort of reminiscent of last night. Sashlabad, you're being messy again. Last night, Sashlabad had both bows in Mini Moldorm Cave, and now they're right next to each other in Agina's Cave and Bombos Tablet. What are you doing? You're a robot. You're supposed to be better than this. Wes making his way back up Death Mountain. Gonna go check his Ether Tablet and possibly Spike Cave.
Yeah, he might also grab that fairy, or potentially one of the other fairies, because the 4 bushes can spawn them.
Yeah, I'm not sure because he doesn't have any invincibility items and might be wanting to hold on to that green potion for something. So he may just opt to skip Spike Cave, which wouldn't hurt him because after all, it is just a piece of heart. So
Sure. Probably eager to go check the book and mushroom spots first.
indeed, looks like that is on his list.
And so far, not really getting anything.
Was that the second item at desert then? I didn't see
I
what the
think
first one
so.
was. To answer question in chat, no, they have not checked PED. They just got book off of East Mountain there, like within the past couple minutes.
No, Bob had to have left an item behind. Because he got the small key off the torch. Oh, I don't know what he got as his compass room item. I missed that. So that could have been his second. But
it was big key in the back long room, and I didn't see what was on torch or the big chest.
he should be careful though, because at this point, it's looking like a pedestal seed.
Very possibly. I mean, he does technically have swamp open to him.
Yeah. Well, no, because he doesn't have flippers.
Oh right, yeah, I forgot about that.
So
it's almost open to him.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, I did that thing where I was like, yeah, we got hook shot, we got hammer, we're good.
I thought Wes was going to give us a ped check there, but no, he's just taking this way up to to Village of Outcasts. But it's looking pretty likely for a ped seed. It's ped's open right now, and we keep narrowing down the locations, and it's our progression's got to be hiding somewhere.
Yeah, and it could be anything from flute to flippers on, or even gloves.
Yeah, it could
be on that ped.
I don't see flute on pedestal, but I think there's a good chance that we could see flippers or the Titan's mitts.
That would be an interesting one. I don't think I've ever seen gloves on pedestal. Seen bow, I've seen a lot of weird things. I've not seen gloves.
All right, Wes, round 3. Let's go. You got it this time.
You got the gold sword now. You got blue mail. Give him hell. I don't think we got to check out a Wes earlier from the hobo. Let's see what the hobo has on him.
It's $20. Stealing the hobo's money too. Bob's collecting taxes from everybody.
Hey, everybody's got to pay up now and then.
And Wes beating blind. Good job. Getting that third crystal.
And Bob gonna make his way up to Zora and get his gold sword here in a moment. Wes doing his northern Dark World checks, Graveyard, King's Tomb, all those.
Did Bob just ignore the chests and waterfall?
I think he might have.
I was like, I thought he just got his water walk and he just pieced right out. He's got to be wondering where that progression is too. He's pushing.
Yeah, I think he just realized it now is gonna do that. Try to do that splash delete thing that I still haven't quite gotten the grasp of.
It's just another one of overloading the sprites on the screen, and then it deletes the splash animation, so the game thinks you can swim.
I think he might be stuck though, because there is I remember reading a problem with it that if you've run like Ice Arm or Armos and or spammed the bow or the torch, the lantern, that's the word. I know words. If you go through any of those situations, you can't get the splash delete until you clear some variable. So he might be experiencing that right now and giving up and going and turning in the mushroom, it looks like.
Yeah, it looked like he was debating, do I go down to the witch and do the mushroom, or do I go up and check Zora? You gotta give the mushroom to him first, though.
Hey, there's the flippers.
Yep. Alright, that means looks like they are going to be headed to Swamp Palace. And Bob's like, oh, I have to go back and check those waterfall chests now.
Curse you, witch. How dare
That's
you
great.
give me these?
It's like, were you having trouble swimming before?
You
Let me
may
cook
want
up
a
some
pair of
flippers
these
for you.
flippers for you. Haha, very funny, witch.
And it looks like Wes is going to be heading into Swamp. Definitely the play to make right now. But that still leaves Titan's Mitts available on the pedestal.
Unless they're here in Swamp, who knows?
Unless they're here. And it looks like Bob's going to be following in Wes's footsteps right now. Swamp Palace, probably the second most hated dungeon in this game. I think people probably hate Ice Palace the most.
Mostly just because Ice Palace has such a strange logic to it. I'm always figuring, is this check in logic? Is it not in logic?
Yeah, it's weird how it could potentially, stuff could be out of logic because not having the cane, and yeah. Swamp Palace, though, it could also be people's favorite dungeon at the same time, if you can go mode it. It always feels good to go mode this dungeon, but...
Chat accusing me of having a cat, and no, that was not my cat this time.
Nope, that was my cat. He's upset that he's not in my room right now. So I wonder if Wes is gonna go straight up, or if he will check left side first.
I certainly wouldn't blame him for checking the left side, just because you're still looking for gloves, you're still looking for cane, you're still looking for flute.
He's going straight up, but I imagine that he will be making his way back there. Unless we find something good. But he might still be making his way back there with the amount of items he's missing.
Depending on the item layout, because this could be God Swamp and, you know, map compass on left side and big key and big chest. Or something similar.
It could be. We haven't found either of the mapper compass or the big key yet, so
Well, we'll find out soon enough. Could be very fortuitous for both of our runners if they both head towards the back.
Well, there's one of them. Potentially 2 items left behind.
Yeah, we're probably jumping right back in after we finish Argus with that big key there. Alright, who wants to take bets on there being a map on Argus?
The dungeon items for the last 3. They wouldn't do that.
Bob, however, going for the left side play from the beginning. Like I said, I like it a little bit better. It's slightly faster.
It's definitely nice if you do this and you find the big key as well, because you know you're going to be routing your way back there anyways. But unfortunately, you won't find it, but it's still with so many items left and so few locations, it's a good play. Just get it out of your head and you know you're checking it regardless. You're not leaving something behind. And Wes, nice and quick, cleans up Argus. And
there's
there's
those pesky mitts.
Oh, so now the question. that's one of those ones that maybe I do leave left side.
Either way, the decision hurts.
Oh, he's thinking about it. Nope. Ice Palace, no. Where will he go? He should probably check that Bombos tablet. But I guess he doesn't need those he doesn't need the bow and arrow. Where are you going, Wes?
No, he might be heading to Ice Palace.
He is. He's just taking this top route. And I don't think anything exciting coming out of left side swamp.
Yeah, nothing there.
The big chest potentially. This should be a pretty easy-ish Ice Palace. Hopefully he finds a small key right away and it just makes the routing nice and easy, but Gold Sword, Bombos, Fire Rod, Hookshot, he's got everything he needs to be in here. I always find it funny that those Pen Gator things die in one hook shot, but they take 2 fire rod shots to to kill.
Yeah, I think they're one of the only enemies in the game that takes more than 1 shot from the fire rod.
And to also die from an item that stuns most other enemies is just, they're such a weird enemy to have around.
The way that I've rationalized it is that they're part bug, because every type of like bug and like creature that has like an endoskeleton type enemy dies with a hook shot in 1 shot. So they've clearly got some sort of endoskeleton thing going on. Or whatever it is that bugs have, I can never remember what that thing's called.
An exoskeleton, I think?
Yeah, that one.
And Bob is about to pick up his Titan's mitts.
And we'll see if Bob decides to dip back in or jump right over to Ice Palace just like Wes. Very nice Argus fight on Bob's side though. Alright, Bob, where are you going? Do you dip back in or what?
Yeah, sorry, I'm back. I Had to let the kitty in the room. Or else he was
poor
probably
cat.
just going to keep screaming.
Bob is going back in for that big chest. There was so many things still missing. That cane, that flute. Really don't want to leave stuff behind. It just feels bad.
Well, after checking Ice Palace, he's probably going to head back up Death Mountain and check Hookshot Cave.
There's the shovel.
Oh no.
Game, what are you doing?
All the fetch quests.
Now, game, you know this isn't funny, right? This is not supposed to be how many fetch quests can we send these players on. This is supposed to be a be nice, let them finish the seed game. No, Bob, you gotta be in the light world for that.
Wrong world. He's trying to Inception the big spot.
For just a heart piece.
Well, thankfully that won't hurt Wes, because he skipped out. And Bob is going to do the blacksmiths right away. He might. Well, no, he probably won't. But I do want to see someone check the pedestal.
Yeah, well, like I said, could still be flute, could still be cane.
With Bob picking up the powder as well. That was in Swamp Palace, I'm pretty sure. Also works out nice for this checking magic bat. He can clear all of it.
Yes, the powder was in that bottom room in Swamp Palace.
Yes, I think that is the map room.
Map room?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Never check this room in NMG.
And what does the bat have for us today? What is he cursing us with?
Some
Low
love.
love. It is indeed a curse.
And Wes not finding anything yet either from Ice Palace.
Could very well be that Flute might be in our Fat Fairy here after we finish Ice Palace, and then just a quick trip over to the Meyer area for a vanilla-ish red cane. But so far, nothing out of all the blacksmith checks for Bob.
I imagine he will turn in this purple chest and probably make his way directly to Ice Palace as well.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that's left aside from heading up Death Mountain again, just to do the dark areas. Now that you do have the gloves, but that feels kind of bad. We'll see what Wes gets rewarded with for finishing off Ice Palace here and Cole's here. I don't think we've gotten all the items. I think we're waiting on one more.
He's going to give us the bombos. Give him the bombos treatment. And the Smith chain, really nothing over there. That, it's probably not a good feeling. Bob's just wanting progression. We've been looking for it for these Titans bits for so long, and
There's the flute.
Ooh.
Nice find at the very end of Ice Palace here. Do you check Fat Fairy before you go check the Mire area just real quick? I mean, you have Mirror, but...
So we're potentially just the Cadus Maria from Go Mode.
Indeed. The only thing down on Wes's side is that he has not found the silvers, which are so close, yet so far.
He'll probably get the bow in one way or another, but unless he finds that cane first.
It's really a matter of what he decides to go check, go skip. He still has to activate that flute. It looks like he's probably either going to be checking Bombo's tablet or going up and doing the big red bomb.
I think he's doing the big red bomb. He probably had it set in his head that I'm gonna go do this bomb after Ice Palace and not pick up the bomb. So he forgot.
Yeah, maybe we should go get the bomb.
The blue bombs don't work, unfortunately. You gotta have that big one. The flute was on Cold Stare. Bob making good use of that net, grabbing another fairy. Well, this could be the play right now. And nope, we're just stealing money from the Fat Fairy. And he's making sure to get a random B right back.
It could be an upgraded B, you never know.
It is an upgraded B. And he decides to keep it at least. Wes should be going to turn in that flute right now. Also using the little mirror warp there. The other bow was Agina's cave, right beside Bombo's tablet. Alright, West will be making his way to the desert area and checking Mire. He has not been here yet at all, so he'll get the luxury of coming in through the backside of desert.
If he does decide to do desert, because Red Cane may well be in Mire Shed here, or Checkerboard.
And it is Ether Medallion to get into Mire, so that is a good sign. He could very likely be dipping Mire as well, regardless.
Could be a vanilla or French vanilla Red Cane.
I suspect Wes will probably check desert first before he goes into mire. But oh no. And it's most likely the right call since we know that nothing is in desert. Well, Bob is just clearing out Ice Palace. About to get his flute. Yes, the pedestal could be Kana Samaria. I'm still holding out for it. It's tough not to check that book chest right away. Or, I mean, that pedestal when you have all those pendants early and able to beat them. But I guess Wes hasn't found the bow, so it's not as enticing. And DoctorBobtastic making quick work of Gold Stair.
And getting his flute. Sorry about that. I was playing a little bit of Diplomat there for a moment.
No problem.
Hey, we have French Vanilla Cane.
Alright, so that is go mode for Wes, even though he does not have the bow.
Yep, it'll be very likely Gold Sword Silverless for him, and it'll be interesting to see this this time difference between Bob and Wes play out, being that Bob does have silvers. He's behind right now, but
it could make up some time, especially on Vidi. Wes having the cape and gold sword, like he can still do that fairly easily, but it won't be as fast as silvers. I don't think Wes has any safeties. Did he use that green potion?
I think he's still holding it. I don't think he dumped it in the fat fairy for the bee.
So, that'll be helpful, but he needs to watch himself right now. He's... Yikes. Well, not the worst thing in the world. He got the big key at least. Bob just doing the routine checks before he decides that he's going to dip into mire and pick up the cane where you want to see the big key. But most importantly, the cane. And Wes is on his way to Vidi. All they need to do is beat Mire and beat Turtle Rock, and then they can head straight to Gan, and they don't need to make that trip into GT. And I don't suspect Bob will be checking anything extra along the way, or Wes, because they are both very well equipped to beat the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's just a matter of getting to the end at this point.
Wes forgetting to hit the switch. That happens to me more often than not. Yeah. For cat pictures, I did post some of them in Discord.
I'm sure the chat appreciates it. Alright. Wes making his way to do Vidi right now. Bob still on the hunt for the big key. I didn't quite catch where it was, sorry.
The big key was in seems to be a trend, but the compass chest?
It's all about compasses this match.
There's something hiding in all of them. Something important. Oh, Wes, you gotta be careful. Alright. Good job. And he gets a bottle for his hard work. This is going to be a very close finish.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's all going to come down to just the power of, you know, those silvers and how much of an advantage they actually do give you in that Ganon time.
Yep.
As well as, you know, how much time they actually save versus doing the gold sword strat.
Bob needs to be careful. I think he has a fairy lined up. He also has the spooky action glitch set up. One of my favorite tricks in the game. It just speeds this. Ooh, okay. He's got to have that fairy still, though. Okay. That just speeds up Meyer so much. There's also a few other funny places you can use it that aren't big time saves, but they're at least entertaining.
Yeah. We've not actually gotten to see what the medallion is for Turtle Rock, so very hopefully it is either Bombos or Ether for the sake of the runners. So.
Yeah, I guess technically we're not in go mode, but we sure feel like it.
We're in please be go mode.
Yeah. Like, come on, I've had enough. If it's the Quake medallion, at least leave it under the doorstep.
And not on the pedestal.
And that's go mode.
Alrighty, Wes heading into Turtle Rock. Bob, just about a mountain climb behind him.
So Bob also decides to buy potions. Probably a smart choice. You don't want to have any oopsies happen.
Yeah, especially since we'll be going right into Ganon as soon as you finish this. You want to have your final preparedness done.
Oh, yeah. Well, also not the worst death in the world, but Wes has got to watch out. Those little time sinks are going to slowly add up. As Bob is getting ready to be really thankful he's in go mode.
Yeah, and it's at this point where you do start wondering in the back of your head, oh god, where is my opponent? My opponent hasn't got done yet, and I have all this stuff.
Yeah, and you know it was all pretty logical to find. It's like the mirror being in pod was not great, but it wasn't the worst because it locked out a vast majority of the Dark World. It's unfortunate, Bob. He couldn't have put it to use a little bit earlier up Death Mountain, but that's a tough one to go check right away, especially knowing he had all of Village of Outcasts and everything lined up for him. It's basically just down to an execution race at this point. Whoever can get there cleaner, because it's gonna be so close.
Yeah, like I said, it's a matter of the silvers, and I think the silvers will scoot things out in favor of Bob personally, just because they are very powerful in a Ganon fight.
Yeah, they will save a significant amount of time. Yeah, and I think DoctorBobtastic was our winner of our first game. When we talked about that earlier, so he really wants to finish this one out and be able to move on. And West is fighting for his life with every little bit of it, and he's got to keep hanging on to this lead as much as he can. Not having that bow will hurt him. Bob getting beat up a little bit too much in the chain chomp room, but powder and potions, they're still safe. And it looks like the last small key will be on Laser Bridge. Wes is going to be taking advantage of his cape and finds half magic right away. That's nice. That makes the rest of this
for
free.
try next.
Yeah, and of course the small key in its vanilla location. Wes opted to take the safety door. Hopefully he doesn't need to use it. He should have enough backups on him, but It's a long walk back otherwise. So Bob is hot on his heels, just headed into the dark, floating maze room.
No. Sorry, for a second there, I lost track of my pusher talk. I was gonna say, Ghost Sword Trinex with half magic, gonna be a really, really quick fight here.
Yeah, Wes is making pretty quick work of him. Bob also grabbing that half magic, probably pretty happy about that too, but seed's almost over, so not the best thing in the world, but I just gotta get that last key.
Alrighty, and that is our 7th crystal, and you know what that means.
It means we're going straight to Ganon.
Yep, no game today. Waiting to see if I can catch some people on that. Hey, we got some numbers in the chat.
It's still good. It's still live. It's however many seconds it takes Wes to fall into the hole.
Oh, is that what we're going by? Okay. I'm good with that. Ladybug Thief wins with the guess of 0. Us going...
Using
Is
the
this one
pod,
fastest way to...
I'm not sure, but I think it might be. I think it's less.
Something I've never really considered, you know?
I don't know. It's close. It's pretty much negligible. And Trinex going down for Bob, so it's going to be a close one. Alright, Gold Sword should make the first 2 phases pretty
Super
easy.
fast.
Yeah. I suspect a 1-1 on both of them. And Wes using the cape for extra security.
Can't blame him, especially having the black magic. Or the half magic. Same thing.
Getting in some extra hits on them, hoping that they count, but unfortunately they don't.
Just punching the pig, making sure he knows what he did wrong.
You know, I think the way Bob took is faster. That was pretty quick.
Yeah, like I said, it's one of those really hard to call, just like off the top of your head. Like, it's really hard to know.
Oh, Bob grabbing the fairy as well. Both of them making sure they're fully ready for this. And I imagine they're both just waiting to see a dot done and.
Like, all right, my opponent got me.
Yeah, like, when's it gonna happen?
How badly did I done goof?
Oh, Wes is having a little bit of trouble here. He keeps walking into those fire bats.
And here we go, silvers versus non-silvers.
Yeah, this is wow. This might even be a tie. It's so close. Wes just needs to get these hits in. I'd switch to fire rod. We got half magic. Why waste running to the torch? All right, this is
Moment of truth time.
yeah. Gonna get almost shot those a little early. Could have got him down. He would have got a triple. And that's it.
That's one dead pig.
Wow. Come on,
There
Wes.
is still 2 seconds for tie, but doesn't look like Wes is gonna make it.
Bob just sneaks back and takes it. GG.
GG, Bob.
Ooh, watch out, Wes.
Hop over into Wes's audio real quick while he finishes off the pig.
I haven't been counting his hits, but he's got.
You gotta be close by now.
Yeah, he's got a fairy.
We are joined by Bob.
Hello.
Hey, Bob.
How we doing?
GG.
GG, Bob.
Whew.
So
Yeah, I got on here and I watched the last bit of it as it was going. I was like, wow, how did I win? Because, my opponent was ahead of me going into Turtle Rock, and then I remembered, oh, right, I had a bow.
And the silvers.
Bow and silver's location.
Yeah.
And there's Wes finishing up. GG. What did you think of that Flipper's location?
I believe you saw my reaction to that on stream. I think that that potion brewing lady had something up her sleeve. I needed to stab it.
It was good timing to go back and check the waterfall, though.
It was that
Yeah.
moment of, yes, I see you've had trouble swimming before, Mr. Bob. Let me brew you a flipper's potion.
Yeah, I had some stuff set up to do like a bunch of stuff, and then I walked onto the land like a dumb. I'm just like, well, now what do I do? But then I remembered the only thing I had left literally in logic was the mushroom. And I was like, well, it's got to be there. So let's go do that. Then we might come back here. And it happened to be the flippers, so I'm like, okay. And then it's a nothing, so I got to go to Swamp. And I'm like, what are you doing making me go to Swamp? And of course, I didn't skip left side. My opponent did. Bunch of shenanigans. Ugh.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I felt behind the entire time, like about the time I went into Swamp for the rest of the seed. I was sitting there like, there's no way. And then as time wore on, I didn't see a dot done. I was like, wait a minute.
So I felt super ahead when I got the fire rod, and then from that point on, I was just like, no, because I literally last location the flippers. Oh yeah, and the mirror.
West actually picked up the fire rod shortly after you did.
Well done.
It was the mirror that you picked up a lot earlier, but you both ended up at Death Mountain around the same time. So it kind of evened itself back out. Yeah, you guys had very, very different routes for the most part at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
It was pretty hard to tell who would have been ahead or behind. Unfortunately, Wes had a few struggles with blind, but
Ooh.
Yeah, and that's why I felt so as behind as I did. Especially like by about the second time I went into Thieves Town, I was like, "Yeah, I'm in trouble." uh, yeah, I was not feeling particularly good about things at that point, and by the time I got to Swamp, I was just like, I am way behind. I need to start making plays, so that's why I skipped left side. That's why I basically went, I'm just going to mainline what crystals I can do. I'm going to skip overworld checks, and it just so happened to work out.
yes.
We have about a minute left of a quick discussion, if we don't mind. We've got the next game coming up here in just a few minutes, and rather tight schedule today.
Yeah, just shout outs to a Kane and Meyer that literally fooled nobody. Just saying.
At that point,
Yeah, it was like, do that.
I kind of
or
wish
go
I'd had my
back up to
webcam
Dark
on
Death
to see
Mountain
my
without it.
so you could have seen my reaction to seeing that Kane. But anyway, our restreamer is attempting to push out at the door. So thanks for the restream and thanks for the commentary.
thanks for racing
GG,
for us, guys. Not trying to be mean, just
Yeah, no, it's fine.
No problem.